get started. So, welcome guys to our day two of career growth. Last week we talked about the things that are like basically an introduction of like how to grow your career in Web3, um, how to get started in each positions. On a very summarized level, I was also answering some of your questions as well. Um, but the continuation with this one is like we talked about over last week is today we are going to heavily talk about moderators in Web3, how to look for a moderator gig, how to get started on being a moderator, what are the things that you need as a moderator, and then what would be like the difference between a very good moderator versus to someone who's just chatting, right? But yeah, um, thank you, Zerk, for coming in here. Yes, this is recorded, and we're actually planning to post this on YouTube. We're just looking for time to edit this out, and then after that, we can go back to this, and then we can rewatch it for sure. But that's one of the ideas, or that's one of the main goal that we have right now. So every session that we have is recorded. Every thing that we do here is basically recorded. Um, yeah, if you wanna help out, please let me know. We could talk in the DMs or we can talk over at the builder chat and then we could like discuss something out of it. And we want to pump out the contents that we talk about here, right? That's why we record each one of the sessions that we have here so that at least when we post it on YouTube, we're just ready, right? We're not going to start over and over and over. But going back to the main topic, being a Web3 moderator, first of all, what is a moderator? So, um, I think of a moderator is they are the front line of the community. They're not just people who keeps the chat engaged. Yes, that's a part of the moderator's job, but it's more than that. Some may say chat engagers, sure, but your duties and responsibilities doesn't really stop there. Um, Part of being a moderator is also giving support as well, whether it's technical support, customer support, or even mutual support for the community because the community itself is an ecosystem that we need to maintain, right? So when you're on a project, there should be a ticketing system, should be able to give support to your people, you should be able to give them help, whether there is technical, whether the issue is technical, just a common error or anything that you can help the person. That's one of the goals of being a moderator. Okay, so the most common moderators that we've seen so far are just chat engagers, like the typical GMs, and then after that it's just like open-ended questions without any follow-ups. So those are a terrible example of being a moderator. What you need to have or what you need to equip yourself onto becoming a moderator is first, you need to be patient. You need to have enough patience to talk to people in a positive tone because people in the community they have their own opinions. Some of the opinions that they might want to share might offend you in any way. So we need to be patient with them. We need to show that we're giving out a positive information, like a positive vibe to the community. We're not just chat engagers, we're actually vibe engagers. So we show these amazing positive vibes, and then like if people see that vibe, they most likely will come back to the community and just hang out and then talk. That's the purpose that we want to, that's the goal that we want to have in the community. So whether they're just coming in to talk to you or just checking out the project, it's always best to be positive. Okay? Patience is what you really need. And then after that is the understanding of the project itself. You don't really need to have an in-depth experience on blockchain development or blockchain technologies. As long as you understand the white paper, the pitch deck, any documents that any documents that your project has, you need to make sure that you guys would remember that. Best practices that I would do is I would put my questions, like frequently asked questions by the community. Let's say they're asking about what's the project about. So I have a ready-made message for them already. So it's always best to read through the white paper, create your own FAQ, like frequently asked questions document, put it on another part of your document or another part of your screen if you have dual monitor or you have two devices. Make sure you have that separate because this gives you the time to like quickly reply to people and at the same time give them quality support versus to you memorizing the whole white paper. No one can memorize the whole white paper. That's the thing. And you don't really need to memorize the white paper, you just need to understand it. Because once you understand it, you'd be able to explain that to people versus you memorizing it. It's just you retyping the things that you memorized, right? So we don't want that to happen. So understanding is always better. Having a documentation, memorization is not a way to go when we're dealing with critical information because all the information that is on an official document from the project itself, whether it's a white paper, a light paper, a pitch deck, any information about the project and the team, we need to make sure that we have solid information that we are going to give to them and that's accurate. Should we make sure that it's accurate, okay? And also, the other things that you can do as a moderator as well is do things beyond just chatting, right? Constantly check different channels, engage on the socials like Twitter, YouTube, or if you have Facebook, go ahead. Support the project at all costs because giving support to the community that shows that you're a really good moderator and you're not just there for like a paycheck, you're just here to grow with the community, and that's the goal that we have. um, with that with that mindset, with that strategy, you'll be able to consistently be with the projects that you're currently in. I've been with projects as a moderator like NFL. We were able to, I was able to, let's just vibe with the community. I was able to help out with the community. So we need to make sure to do all of these things. Okay? So patience, understanding the information, and at the same time, giving support to the project itself. Okay? Because for me when I was a moderator, my primary goal, right, my primary goal when I was a moderator back then is to establish that I am the moderator, whether it's on Discord, on Twitter, or like Twitter, Discord, or even at any socials. I want to give out a positive vibe. I want to give out a support to the community itself. So what I do is on Twitter, I hit the notification bell, the priority bell on Twitter so that I could get the latest and updated news from the project itself. Um, I always do not mute. Okay, I like this is best practice. Do not mute the server that you're working on, because we need to know pings, right? So ding 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 from like Discord, so we need to know that. And also engage with other socials as well on the community, because when people see you engaging, and then they will just, it's a starting point for them to join. So it's always best to do these things. So let's answer Zerk's question. Is writing your own script good, or it's good to be organic? So Zerk, it's a little bit of yes and no. Because writing your own script for like white papers are good. Okay, it means that you're prepared. Whether there's a question like, hey, what blockchain are you currently guys in, and how I can participate, you can create a template for that. Like I said earlier, on the frequently asked questions document that you prepared by yourself, this makes you prepared ahead of time. So you don't um, go through the white paper, check everything, like, so it wouldn't put you on a panic state. So writing your own script for like documents to prepare yourself for like inevitable questions from people, that is good. Okay. But when you're engaging to people, when you're talking to people at all, like like asking them how's their day, to basically prolong the conversation, it's always best to make it organic as much as you can. Okay? So, in short, official documents, official notes should be, or I would recommend to put it on a script, uh, a ready-made message script. Okay? And then when you are conversating with people, it's always best to make it organic. Okay? Like when we're talking to people, we don't really want to have that script, right? Like getting sent by a script. So, like, let's say for example, let's make a scenario. Let's say for example, someone shared like, oh, I'm currently having a bad day, and then on your script, um, that's awesome. Can you tell me more? So that's one of the worst example that you could do with a script. So, like I said, it's always best to keep conversations organic, but at the same time, official documents on a script. Thanks. Okay, Zerk said, thanks, Mark. I think I need to use my script when I'm burnt out. Um, yeah, well, but that's up to you. But I'm just giving best practices of being a moderator. Okay. So other things that you can do to become a really good moderator is to communicate with your community manager or to the founder itself. Okay. So you need to make sure to communicate to them like what are the things that we are expecting this week, like any updates at all. If you guys could meet in a week, that would be great. What I do with my moderators back then, or what we did before, when I was on when I was on a moderator position, is we constantly meet with our team. So we had the community manager, like one community manager, three moderators on a three different shift schedule to cover the 8 hours on a day. So that's basically 24 hours coverage. So that's really good, right? Not a lot of communities have that set up, but what we usually do is on the first month of the project, we meet at the starting of the week, and then we meet on Thursday. It's because on Monday we prepare ourselves for the events that is going to happen over at the following days of the week. And then on Thursday, um, we give feedback to the community manager. What are the things that we can improve upon to get statistics of the certain events that we hosted, plans that we need to double check. Why Thursday? It's because on Friday we repeat the same thing on a Monday, so it's a cycling schedule. And then after a month, once we get our gears rolling, what our like gears oiled up, everyone's running on a same wavelength. We base the meeting on a weekly basis, which is like, Monday. So Monday is giving updates from the previous week, and then after that is giving updates or things that is needed to be done over at this week. So when your community manager or when any of the team doesn't want to meet with you, just ask them if you could meet with them, or if there are any notes that you need to remember so that at least you are prepared on the upcoming following days that you are going to do on the community. Okay? And then another thing that you could do as well is I have my own KPI metric on my mind. Like, replies shouldn't be delayed at least like a maximum of like 6 minutes, right? Because it's a conversation that you're trying to keep up. It's weird if we're having that lengthy conversation with someone and then we forgot to reply after 6 hours. That conversation basically died. So the goal is to um, have that engagement going so that people would see, hey, he's talking about the project or he's talking about the latest news in crypto, right? So um, keep that in mind that you need to reply to the people 6 minutes or even below 6 minutes so that at least you get a response from people as well. But let's say for tickets, when we're handling tickets, at least a maximum of like 30 minutes when you are on your shift. When you're doing your shift, at least reply to the ticket before like 30 minutes or even like less than 30 minutes. I, I I'm just saying 30 minutes because it gives you time to look for any authority, like any one that has more information that could help you out, right? You don't really instantly tag the community manager and then without any context at all. So what you need to do when you're handling tickets is you reply to the person, hey, we'll get back to you on this. I'm just checking out with one of the team, right? And then you get back to it as well. Communication is always the key, and if we're missing out on communicating to people, that means that we're not doing a best job in moderating. So, few things that you need to remember when you're a moderator is communications is the number one priority that you need to do. Technical know-how on the project itself, and then at the same time you need to be patient, and at the same time you need to have that positive vibe with you. Okay? These are the common things that you do in order for you to become a very good moderator. What we see in the current market right now is people are doing this on the first few days, on the first few weeks, but after that, they lose momentum. It's probably personal reasons, probably they got covered by, or they got distracted by other things. But what we need to show in order for us to be a really, really good moderator is consistency in all of the things that we do. Okay? Consistency is always the must. And then be open as well for any feedback from whether the community or like anyone at all, whether it's from the community, from the founder, or from your team itself, because feedback is the number one thing that will improve you, or second important thing that will improve you, because the first one is experience. When you have enough experience, you'd know what you need to do, and with the feedback that is given to you, that's just backing up or you're for basically improving your whole entire um, career as a moderator, not just a moderator, but improving into, let's say, becoming someone like a collab manager or an outreach manager or a community manager, right? So that's the most important thing. So, next is where do we get these jobs, right? Because people may ask, Mark, where do you, so how, so I know how to become a good moderator. So where do we look for these jobs, right? So first of all, we need to prepare a resume, okay? So we need to at least prepare a resume, highlighting the things that you have as a skill set and the things that you've done on the back end side, like your previous work experiences. Okay, if you don't have any previous work experiences, that's fine, as long as as long as you presented yourself in your resume really good, that's going to be okay. Okay. There are people that are willing to work with you regardless if you have a master's degree or not, whether you finish school or not. In Web3, no one discriminates here. So whether this is your first time or you have been in the industry for like years now, there will be people that will be accepting you. Okay? Just show that you're a good person. That's a good start. There's nothing wrong of you being a good person, right? So where do we look for moderator gigs, right? So traditionally, not really traditionally, but way back then, what we usually do or what people did before is they go to projects that are just starting out and then they see the flaws that are in the community, right? So, and then they raise that flaws to the community, and then they tell that to the founder, like, hey, these are the things that your server is missing, or you can improve upon your server doing this and that. And then there are chances that the founder will hire you just because of, hey, you gave feedback and you're someone that they want to keep on for like as a moderator or as a community manager. So that's a first. And then also other things is try volunteer work for like a week or two. Okay. So try volunteering for being a moderator for like a maximum of 2 weeks. Okay. We don't want you to just be a volunteer for like the whole year because that's honestly not the way to go. You have things that you need. Money is something that we need as well, so that's why we're doing these things, right? So for me, it's a maximum of 2 weeks or even 1 week, like just trying out for you being a moderator. Show them that, hey, this is you, this is how you work, this is how you moderate the community. Once you've shown that to the people, and if they think that you're a good fit, you could ask them if, hey, you could probably talk on a about a paid position here as a moderator. Maybe we could start on an X amount, right? So you could always ask that like after a week, and then once they say like, oh no, we don't have the bandwidth or the capacity right now to pay you, you could humbly decline that. It's okay. You don't need to ghost the community. It's always best to communicate like, hey, appreciate that you replied to me. Thank you so much. However, I may need to stop my volunteer work because I need to look for other opportunities that will pay me. So, so that at least when that particular project comes to like shoot to the moon and then they're looking for a moderator, you can go back to them can because they already tested you for like a week or two, right? So it's always best to communicate. It's always best to like let like people know that, hey, I may not be able to volunteer here anymore. It's fine. Okay. What's not fine is ghosting just randomly because That's insane. And we don't want them to ghost because obviously they want that communication or communicated to them. So we need to make sure to do that as well. And then other things that you could do, you could start, let's say once you have that volunteer work, have that enough experience, you can put that on your resume. And then if you want to, you can have your resumes checked over at here at Press Energy. We have Wanderlust here who checks via message, and while me and Annie does the talk over at every Wednesday. So it's a good way for you to get feedback to improve your resumes to get more clients. So that's another way for you to get clients is to have a good resume. And then the other one that you could do is apply. Apply for different positions in Web3 for moderator specifically. Where I found my company is over at LinkedIn. I got all my jobs on LinkedIn. It's not the case for everyone, but you could also set up a LinkedIn profile, engage with people there, and then start building out your like moderator career over at LinkedIn. That's good. Or if you want, you can try different platforms just like Brass Energy. However, we're not yet released, so for the meantime, you could check other platforms. One of the good platforms that we have right now on currently on the Web3 is Talent Protocol and Rethinkable. So you could go ahead and check those two, and you can most likely see that there are positions that are open for like a moderator position. The other thing that you do is you manually look for new projects, right? Apply for a moderator in those projects. Those are the things that you can do as well. What some people done and told me is they would go to official websites or on Magic Eden where if they see like projects that are up and coming, they check it out and then they apply for positions. So that's another way for you to look for um, moderator gigs as well. And you can also check out, and then the last one is you could also check out agencies and companies as well, wherein they focus on hiring moderators, they're hiring community managers, and then they deploy them to projects. So those are a thing. Just like VAs, they have their own agencies. There are moderators as well. There are community management companies as well, wherein um, they would be happily able to get you and then train you. So yeah. So one of the things that I do as well, be like other than Brass Energy is I manage an operations like I'm the chief operations officer for Accelerate. So Accelerate is a community management company wherein we train moderators, we place them on different projects, we give them opportunities to grow as a community managers. I mentor them, we mentor them, one-on-one mentoring, to where we transition them from a moderator to a community manager. So we do that as well over at Accelerate. So what we just aim to do is we aim to help people, equip them with the right knowledge to ensure that hey, they are able to present themselves and make a career out of Web3. What we like about Brass Energy as well is in the future, you will have a safe place to work as a Web3 moderator or any positions in Web3. This actually lets you connect with clients directly in the platform as well, and you have a secured payment here. So that's one of the cool things that you can do. Okay. So I hope that you are able to look for these moderator positions. There are trainings. There are few trainings that are free onto becoming a moderator. I've taught people before in our company. There we've specifically taught, let's say, thousands of people get certified as a moderator. So we certify moderators into, and then we place them in projects as well. But training is free. Um, you could look for other trainings as well. Um, in the bull market, there are a lot of communities that will do this because they are in preparation of, hey, a lot of projects are coming in, so we need a lot of people to put in these different projects. So, but right now, in the bear market, it's hard to look for projects right now. It's very scarce in the market. What I do suggest is look for um, like positions over at, let's say, for Wanderlust here. She posted job boards that you could highlight yourself as a moderator. So like she did, like she suggested, like I suggested, is your thinkable, and then Web3 jobs that career or Web3 dot career. Okay, and she also sent out a moderator support server as well called Angry Mods. Okay, but and also guys, if you are interested into like learning onto like becoming a moderator, please let me know if we could help you out. But yeah, um, is there any questions that people may have on like how to become a moderator? It's a very okay. I have a longer list of job boards but listed but rethinkable since Mark mentioned it. Yes. We've partnered with Rethinkable before. They're a good community. They've helped people land jobs, so that's really good. Web3 career, I've not checked that out, but for sure, since it's from you, I really trust Wanderlust's word here, and she has a lot of information that could help us out. So you guys could check out Web3 jobs as well. Okay, and also I think she's typing. Let's wait for her to respond. All right. Yep. And also, guys, once you've had your resumes reviewed over at the resume review, um, you could put me as a character reference, and then I'd be able to share how amazing you are as a person, how amazing you are as a moderator, or any position that you prefer. Um, put me as a character reference so that at least I could help you out as well. Okay? And also in Brass Energy, just a little bit of alpha. We will be opening a course soon about community management and moderation. So that is going to be available for everyone. So I hope we would be able to help a lot of people with this one. And yeah, let's open our um, panel, or not really panel, but let's open our doors for any questions. Yeah, you are correct. What I do on my references is I put let's say I put a section on my resume, right? It says references. What I did below that is available upon request. So if they really need the reference, I could send them out a list. So I have the list ready as well. And that's what I do or did before Web3. You have a list of character reference because you know, not a lot of hiring managers would just call um the reference that you added, so it's always best to put like available upon request. Yeah. And also notify the person that you put as a character reference so that they'd know ahead of time, like, hey, they're expecting a call from that certain company that you applied for, right? So, do you guys have any questions? We're opening our doors to questions, inquiries. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's your resume. It's how you present yourself, right? Okay. Any questions that you guys may have onto like becoming a moderator? Because I've seen um moderators before, like just showing off some like okay examples, not really like the best, but not really the great. Is people would just have like hey like always say GM or like hi like spam hi to like they would just spam hi to everyone. So that's one of the bad practices as well of you becoming a moderator. So you should have depth on your conversations with like people, okay? You don't really have like intros, don't really need to do intros like hi GM. So strike up a conversation as well. It's always best to strike up a conversation, open up a topic, but at least when you're opening a topic that is not related to the project, what you need to do is you need to make sure that it's okay to your team rules that you guys are allowed to talk about, let's say, cats and dogs, while the project is about the platform. So need to understand as well what are the do's and don'ts. All right. So I think okay. We have Wanderlust here. Sure. We'll bring you up. Hello, Wanderlust. Thank you for
Hi,
joining here.
you okay?
Doing good. How
Can
are
you hear
you?
me, Mark?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Awesome. I don't have a lot of time. I have to go to a meeting, but and I missed the beginning of the session, so I apologize if this is repetition. I think a really big thing is the importance of warm intros. So like if you have a few projects you're really interested in, going into the community server and kind of like chatting up members and then getting to know some of the core team members in a kind of a casual, informal way, nothing inappropriate, super professional, asking more information about the project, and establishing some kind of rapport with some of the key members and the team members is really good because then one or more of them can give you a warm intro. So warm intro would be like, I'm in a project server. You started talking to me. You realize that I'm either like a very influential community member or I'm on the team. We start talking, about whatever. And then from this, you can build on this and be like, I'm looking for a moderator position. You've now got to know the project a little bit because you've spent some time. This is where, I could go, oh, yeah, I think there is a position open. Let me introduce you to the person who is, you know, hiring moderators, whether that's the community manager or somebody else. This is really important because you can apply for job boards and you can apply for a lot of them. And at times you will probably not get responses. One thing I really like about Rethinkable that they changed on the platform is that when you're looking for jobs and it's been filled, they state that on their board now. Whereas many other job boards, you have no idea if, they've already selected someone. Sometimes job boards will tell you how many people are interested. LinkedIn does that pretty well, tell you how many people have applied, but you don't really know if the position's filled necessarily. So when you have a warm intro and you're talking to someone, that personal connection you have with, let's say, Mark, transfers that trust from Mark's relationship to the relationship he has with a team member. And this is how you do a warm intro. This is a lot easier and to secure an opportunity than just blindly doing job board applications. I think you have to do a mixed approach, but establishing a rapport with people in the community of a project that you're interested in and getting people to give you warm intros to meet someone else, and then finding that like thing that connects you with that new person you don't know is important. I would be careful about scripts. I know I saw that in the chat, but people message me all the time and I can tell it's a script right off the bat. Mark mentioned like don't message hi. Never do that. That is like the number one red flag for anybody. If you just message someone that you don't know and you write hi, no, no, no. Like that person's not messaging you back or spending any time with you unless you already have a pre established rapport. Like your script, if you're going to use a script, the best way to do it is create a script that talks about yourself, but there's an intro part before you do this. And it's that connection between how you understand the project and your contribution. So if you do a script, it should really be more about, explaining yourself. But really what people want is like interact with people. Go on Twitter, follow some key people that you like, interact with them in their tweets, get them to be familiar with you, and then send a DM, rather than just a cold call DM, because then they'll have recognized you. So things like this is really important to find different ways to connect with people. Once you make that connection, this is where like you build it, without coming off like too demanding or too needy. People do this all the time where they message me and they ask me specifically straight out, like, go help me find a job. That's not my job. My job is not to help you find a job. My job is to help you, guide you, give you some tips, ask you kind of some of the difficult questions, you know, make you think from a different perspective. But what I really don't like when people do in DMs is where they say hi to me, they send me a generic script, or they demand that I help them find a job. Those are three like massive amount of turnoffs. So when you message people and you connect with them, pretend you're a founder, you're a recruiter, you're hiring a team. What would turn you on and what would turn you off? And then practice these things, and see how it goes. And you should do follow-ups, but like it shouldn't be like, borderline harassing, which I hate because I have few people who harass me on a regular basis. And now I've decided that I don't want to help them because it's just too much. So that's kind of like my 2 cents on how you can make connections and look for jobs, whether it's moderator or not. I did send you a Discord link. It's Angry Mods. It's led by a personal friend of mine who's the founder of Angry Mods. She created it as a way to help moderators in the space in Web3. So if moderation is your thing, I suggest that you look at her server and see kind of the support and services she offers. I collaborate with her and talk to her often, so I hope that's helpful.
Thank you so much, Wonderlust. It's really helpful. And also, based on my experiences, I've also gotten like a ton of messages, people asking me like, "Hi," and then suddenly like paste the script, right? And here on Brass Energy, we've been getting those as well on the ticketing side. So it leaves a bitter taste for the receiving end. Like most likely they won't be able to help you. It's because you did not put enough effort to build a relationship with that person. Not really like a strong relationship, but like an intro relationship that basically is building rapport, like Wanderlust said. So Yeah, soft introduction, get to know the project, get to know how it works, look for ways to on how to improve it, right? List down the things that are the things that they need to improve, and then what I would do is, hey founder, I've been in this community for quite a while now, and I really want to help out. So we could schedule a call, there are some things that the project needs to improve on. If you're open for feedback, right? And then you give them the feedback, you give them the information that they needed, and then I usually ask if there is is there any like open position that we could help out. I could do this for you. I could do all of these things for you on a position that, hey, let's say a moderator or a community manager, and then we could start from there, right? So, like Wanderlust said, it's amazing. Warm intros are really good, right? So, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Wanderlust, for sharing the wonderful information. So, do you guys have any questions? Any questions before we go? And yeah, just a shout out to the article that Wanderlust wrote. You guys should check it out. Um, she talks about mastering warm introductions. That's going to help us a lot. That's going to help you guys a lot as well. So let's check it out, and then yeah, let us know your thoughts around it. We could talk about it over at the builder chat or at the general chat. Give some shout out to our Wanderlust here for like helping us build this amazing community, and shout out to you guys as well for like helping us build this community. We're just starting out. We've surpassed 500. We're hoping to get 500 more, right? And then like more people are able to be helped. So, once again, this is the part two of career growth, where we talked about the moderators. And then, yeah, thank you guys so much, and see you guys in the next week's event, wherein we're going to talk about community management. So, it's a very lengthy talk about community management. So, um, if you are interested to join that, of course, just join here. It's free. So, yeah, thank you guys so much. Happy Friday, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And see you guys next week. Thank you guys so much. Bye bye.